Japan supports vulnerable individuals in Iraq. Japan, a Shining World Leadership Awards for Compassion, Animal Protection, and Generosity laureate, recently donated $5 million to the United Nations Refugee Agency, or UNHCR. The contribution will be used to help provide legal assistance, civil documentation, and psychosocial counseling to 2,800 Syrian refugees and as many as 6,000 internally displaced persons. Speaking of the donation, Deputy Representative of the UNHCR in Iraq, Philippa Kendler, said, "This assistance shows the strong and unwavering commitment of Japan to address the needs of displaced populations in Iraq as the country works towards stabilization and recovery. Since 2014, Japan has donated $540 million in similar humanitarian aid to Iraq. Our heartfelt gratitude, Japan, for your generosity. May all individuals and families who were pushed by circumstances to leave their homes be shielded in Allah's merciful love."
Rwandan agricultural project benefits local farmers. The foundation of Howard G. Buffett, a United States businessman and son of renowned philanthropist Warren Buffett, has joined with the Rwandan government to inaugurate a $54 million irrigation initiative in the country's eastern district of Kirihi. The National Irrigation Project is part of an ambitious plan to advance Rwanda's agricultural sector through a $500 million donation made by Howard Buffett in 2017. The endeavor will use solar power to irrigate the lands of 2,099 smallholder farmers. The partners also decided to construct 144 houses for families relocating from prime irrigation areas. Moreover, a new research and extension center will be created with the goal of improving the farmers' food security through enhanced crop growing practices. Congratulations on your friendly collaboration, Howard G. Buffett Foundation and Rwanda. In God's abundant love, may your efforts multiply prosperity and happiness in the lives they touch. Up next, Belarus encourages use of electric vehicles. We'll take a moment to thank the hydroponic farmers who almost magically can produce fresh vegetables in urban settings with minimal land and resources.
Belarus promotes electric vehicles, or EVs. Belarusian President, His Excellency Alexander Lukashenko, has issued a decree to encourage more electric vehicle purchases and to support the development of EV infrastructure. Incentives for car buyers include exemption from road use fees, tax rebates for imported vehicles, and free parking in designated spots of public parking lots. At the same time, Belarus is amping up the necessary infrastructure for electric cars, with more charging stations and places for after-sales service. By 2030, the country foresees up to 300,000 EVs on its roadways. Bravo, Your Excellency Alexander Lukashenko and Belarus. May you and your future generations reap the many benefits of electric mobility, such as the preservation of the air and human health, in heaven's grace.
Australia to fund Clean Energy Research Centre. The Australian government, a Shining World Leadership Award for Compassion recipient, and a Shining World Leadership Awards for High Moral Value and Health Guardian Laureate, would dedicate $45 million in funding to establish the Reliable, Affordable, Clean Energy for 2030 Cooperative Research Center, or CRC. This will allow the energy industry and researchers to work closely together to improve grid stability, increase productivity, and lower costs for households. In addition, adoption of low emissions technology will be accelerated thanks to the project. So far, $184 million have also been contributed by both researchers and businesses, while partnerships have been formed with about 90 organizations and several state governments. A commendable move, Australia. Best wishes on the establishment of your new research center. May your forward-thinking nation see many achievements in its electrical infrastructure as you move ever further into a green future.
Retired doctors and nurses in the United Kingdom answer government's call. More than 500 physicians and 4,000 nurses who were previously retired have agreed to return to work to help their fellow citizens overcome the COVID-19 virus pandemic. The National Health Service, or NHS, had requested urgent assistance to fill shortages in a letter sent to retired healthcare personnel from England and Wales. Among the thousands who responded, many within just 48 hours of the call, Member of Parliament the Honourable Maria Caulfield pledged to return to her previous profession of nursing alongside her political duties. The NHS also made an agreement with private hospitals to provide 20,000 hospital staff as well as 8,000 beds and intensive care facilities. With gratefulness to the NHS for taking action, we respectfully salute all the noble doctors and nurses for your selflessness and courage. We pray heavens to protect you and all professionals worldwide who are on the front lines during the pandemic. May God bless us all.
Research shows tofu reduces heart disease risk. Scientists from Harvard University in the United States have determined that eating tofu once a week can reduce the chance of heart disease by 18%, and eating it once a month decreases the risk by 12%. The researchers analyzed data from 200,000 people who took part in 3 studies. With participants' information kept current through dietary surveys held every several years. Commenting on the study, lead author Dr. Chi Sun stated, "People with an elevated risk of developing heart disease should evaluate their diets. Tofu and other isoflavin-rich plant-based foods are excellent protein sources." The study was published in Circulation, the scientific journal of the American Heart Association. Many thanks, Dr. Chi Sun and co-researchers, for your important findings. In divine wisdom, may all people soon make health-protecting plant proteins a part of their daily diet as we change the world with our benevolent food choices.
Taipei-based photographer promotes animal adoption through his camera lens. Former wedding studio photographer Yang Qingwei started running a studio for animal companions because of his love for animals, who he says are easier to work with than humans. His Something Studio in Taipei, Taiwan, also known as Formosa, has also been helping shelter residents increase their chances for adoption via his photographs. For the best results, Mr. Young spends time to make sure his subjects at the shelter feel safe with him before capturing their natural movements. He then uploads the pictures to his studio's Facebook page and other adoption-related online platforms. The caring photographer shared that despite the extra workload, he won't give up, recalling the rewarding moment when one dog, who had been waiting at the shelter for a year, got adopted just 4 days after his photo was posted. Our applause and thankfulness, Yang Qingwei. May you long continue using your talents to help our adorable animal friends find forever loving homes in celestial delight.